Alright, so a lot of my videos that have done pretty well have been Minecraft mod related, but I'm a Nintendo boy, so I've got to make a Nintendo video, and this video is my ranking of the Pokemon Unite Pokemon. Not exactly like their power order, but like which ones I enjoy playing the most. I've had a lot of fun with Pokemon Unite recently. It's a great strategy game that I've been enjoying. I already said that. Also, my voice is a little bit deeper because I've had a cough for the last few days, but I'm not going to let that stop me from getting controversial with a Pokemon tier list. Alright, first off, we have Blastoise.
Huh?
He's not even in the game yet, although I assume a defender like him will be very fun to play. So I'm going to put him in A, because there aren't enough defenders in the game as is. There's Crustle, there's Snorlax, and there's Slowbro. And yeah, they're these guys are fun, but Blastoise is going to add something different to the game. Well, actually, I kind of doubt that. Charizard, first all-rounder on this tier list. Charizard, I don't have him yet. I haven't unlocked him. But he's pretty good. He's like the only guy who does burn damage consistently. And he's also ranged. One thing about him is that his neutral move, his basic attack, which is just the A button if anyone was wondering, he can move while blasting fire. So that's pretty good in my eyes. He's going to go in an A. Although I haven't used him in a legitimate battle yet, so take a little bit of salt with this. And not just a little bit of salt, I need you to get a whole spoonful of salt. Just every time I say something that you don't agree with, grab that spoon of salt again and take another lick, okay? Because you're going to need a lot of grains of salt for this video. Cinderace. He's legitimately fun to play as because he's ranged and he does a lot of damage. But there's nothing worse than chasing after a Cinderace, and he just constantly turns around to fire a fireball at you, and there's nothing you can do because he's somehow keeping up the same pace while running away, and he's still doing tons of damage to you. So for that, I'm going to put him in B because he's so annoying to fight against. Cramorant is next. My boy. This is dopey little bird. He was one of my favorite Pokemon that came out of Sword and Shield. So whenever I saw him in Pokemon Unite, I was ecstatic. Of course, I didn't buy him first, but I don't own him yet, so I haven't really used him in a legitimate battle yet. But from what I can tell, and I've been in practice mode with him a few times, he's a solid S. He deals plenty of damage. He's just really good. I like him. And his little dopey smile. Crustle. This guy is one of my favorite defenders. I don't know if... Okay, there are a few Pokemon that I do not like. Got it. I had to think about it for a little bit. Crustle, he's a good A tier. He's fun to play as. I unlocked him with the daily challenges, along with the outfit that it comes with, and he's just fun. He can set up a rock wall that no one can go through unless they have a jump move, and that's just fun to do, because as a defender you're supposed to be defending your team, but not only can he defend with his rock wall, but he can keep other Pokemon from escaping. A little bit brutal, this one. Gossifleur, at least is that its name? I currently don't have internet, so Eldegoss. That's its name. What's Gossifleur? I think that's the fairy. Anyways, Eldegoss. This guy was the first person I unlocked because, at the very beginning when you're done with the tutorial, you're given an option between, Eldegoss, Charizard, Snorlax, and I think a few others. I chose Eldegoss because I knew that I would like it. And I was right. S tier. They don't do much damage, at all. But it's really fun to go in with a teammate like Cramorant, who can do lots of damage. And while they're doing lots of damage, you are healing them just enough to where the opponent's Pokemon are overwhelmed, and then they have to retreat. Garchomp. I have no idea why his sprite is so tiny here. Like, look at Gardevoir and then look at Garchomp. He would be like that tall compared to her. Garchomp is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. Whenever I was a kid, I played Pokemon Diamond. That was my second ever video game. And the first time I saw Garchomp, I was like, I need that. I didn't even know how good he was. I just wanted him because he was cool. And now I have him in Pokemon Unite. And sadly, he's not S tier. He's a melee all-rounder. So even though he's melee, he can't do enough damage. Like, it's weird because all the attackers seem to be long range, and all of the all-rounders seem to be melee. Which, it doesn't make that much sense to me because the all-rounders don't do as much damage as the attackers, yet the attackers can fire from further away. Anyways, yeah, Garchomp is melee. I like his moves. His passive ability is that anytime he hits an opponent, his attack speed gets faster. And that's really good whenever you know how to use it correctly. But if you're in a 1v3 or even 1v2 situation, you have the ability to get destroyed because your attack speed isn't up enough. And whenever you're doing random matches with random people, there's a very high chance that you will not have somebody by your side like Crustle or Elagos supporting you. Alright, Gardevoir. High attack power. I have not played as her, but every time I run into one, I don't have much trouble defeating them. However, if they have somebody with them as a defender, any kind of defender or supporter, they absolutely destroy. Gardevoir has a very high attack, and all of her moves do a ton of damage. Although I haven't played as them, so B tier for you. Gengar, yeah, there's not much to say about Gengar except for that I hate him because everyone who plays as him just spams the same thing and he does way too much damage for his own good. There was a patch like yesterday or 2 days ago that was supposed to nerf him, but it detracted by just 100 damage. And that is not enough to make the strategy that they're using less viable. Gengar just does way too much damage, and I do not like him for that. Greninja, he's kind of like Cinderace, but not Cinderace. Not as good as Cinderace. Lots of projectiles, and if they know what they're doing, they can do good. I haven't really run into many. Like I said, I play as Garchomp most of the time. I haven't run into many that give me much trouble, so I'm going to have to put you in B tier. Lucario, fun Pokemon. I really like it. One of my favorites from Diamond and Pearl, and it's kind of an icon at this point. I know most of, like, all of them from Pokemon Unite are icons, except for, a few, such as, Eldegoss and Mr. Mime is pretty well known. This bird isn't well known, but he's all the way over here, so I can't talk about him yet. Lucario, fun guy. I have not played as him. Sometimes he does give me lots of trouble. Sometimes he can do tons of damage. He's another melee all-rounder, so most of his stats are better, more average than everyone else's. I'm going to have to put him in A. Machamp. This guy is like Lucario, but slower and has the ability to do more damage. So, B tier for you. He's not very fun to play as, because you kind of just lug around. You lug around, and every now and then you'll get a hit in. And if you 1v1 somebody, I guess you have a chance. Someone like Gardevoir or Cinderace can take him out if he's by himself. Mr. Mime. This guy is supposed to be a supporter, putting up his little barriers and walls. But people have figured out how to go solo as Mr. Mime and do lots of damage, which I am not thankful for. Someone like Eldegoss, who is a supporter who heals, does not have the chance to do much damage unless they have their Unite move charged up, but even that only does like half the health of an attacker. Mr. Mime, though, he can put up a wall and then stun you for like, I don't know, it's probably like 2 seconds, but it feels like forever when you're playing the game. And then he deals more damage than anyone would like to admit, especially Mr. Mime players. They're not in it to help their teammates. Behind that clown smile, there's a sadistic little frown. Well, I guess there's a sadistic little smile. Anyways, C tier. Alolan Ninetales, another attacker who can attack from far away. There's so many of these, I think they just need to add more of other types, and I'll stop complaining about it. This one is pretty much a supporter and attacker, though. Its passive ability is that it freezes opponents, and some of its moves freeze, which kind of like Mr. Mime's little confusion, whenever you're frozen, it feels like forever. Since they're an attacker, if you get up close, you can do quite well. That's not really true with Alolan Ninetales because they can dish out the damage. And if you get close, they have a move called Blizzard that pushes you away. How fun is that? I like Alolan Ninetales. I like playing as them. S tier. Pikachu, another ranged attacker that has a stun move. Wow, there's so many of these. It's almost as if it's unfair. Pikachu's kind of bland, for the normies who are learning how to play the game. He's literally the tutorial Pokemon. He can deal out the damage. I don't know if he has the least amount of health, but he sure looks like it. I'm going to put him in B. Slowbro, he's fine. I'm staring at his face right now. He's just kind of staring up. He's looking at Mr. Mime, and Mr. Mime is looking at him, and Gengar is looking at him too. Wow. Yeah, Slowbro's fine. He is the second Pokemon that you are allowed to have. Like, they literally just give him to you after you start the game, so no one doesn't know what it's like to play Slowbro. I think if you know what you're doing, he's fun. I've played with him. I've played as him multiple times. Since online people are greedy, they want to play the attackers and speedsters. They don't want to play correctly and choose defender or supporter. So I've played Slowbro a lot. I actually like him. A tier. Snorlax. This is probably the best defender in the game. Not only because he can put up a big wall that is super annoying because he can just walk towards you and it combos into itself. He has so many moves that stun you, and he can do tons of damage. So it's not like this guy needs some help like Crustle does to take out his opponents. And for that, I'm giving him B tier, because every time I see someone playing Snorlax, I'm like, here we go again. Firebird. I do not remember what your name is. Anyways, I give up trying to remember his name. C tier. When you see this guy in a game, you don't think to yourself, oh no. You think more like, why did you pick this Pokemon? He's one of the speedsters in the game, so his whole shtick is that he can move around quickly, but he can't even do that really correctly. So, yeah, he doesn't do much damage. He doesn't have that much health. Venusaur. This guy, he can do damage. But Venusaur is another ranged attacker. Wow. I don't like him. I unlocked him with the free login every day kind of thing, but he's just not that fun, He just he moseys around like Machamp. So I guess he's B tier. Better than Snorlax and Machamp, but nuh-uh. And last, Absol. Well, there's supposed to be one more here, but for some reason the person who made this tier list completely forgot. Absol. He's actually very fun. He reminds me of Lucario and the person they forgot. Absol is another speedster, but he can do some damage. So I like him. A tier. And I'll put this in editing. Zeraora, he's kind of a C. I don't like to play as him. He's kind of boring. And whenever you're fighting against somebody who is Zeraora, you go, oh no, I'm about to lose all my health. So C, he stays. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you have any disagreements with me in this placement on the tier list, go ahead and put it in the comments, but, you know, not after you take that grain of salt. So, don't get too mad at me, you know? Leave a like on the video, and bye-bye.